All right, we are live now. So this is Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn, featuring the champion of Capua, Crixus. How's it going, Crixus?
Oh, things are going good here at home. How are you guys doing?
Can't complain. The weather's a little bit chilly out, but we'll take
Mhm.
it, I guess. I mean, we're
Yeah, it's
Minnesotans,
not
so
snowing luckily, so
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Mhm. Yeah, I was out biking today. I'm like, geez, it is windy out. So yeah, and it's almost end of middle of April now. So
yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Jesse's already glitching. Oh, um, I'll put you on pause for a sec. No, wow, we were just doing fine too. Okay, I'll put him on pause
Come on,
for a
Jack,
sec.
you figure it out.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. All right, I can keep going. So, yeah. So the last time we had you on, was kind of interesting. It's going to be a Zero Sympathy reunion, AWF team.
Yep.
Uh, System was on. Sterling took a nap, and
Yeah.
System got kidnapped. So, hmm yeah. What are your thoughts from last time?
Well, system told you how he felt. I told you how I felt. Things can't always go the way you want them to go. You always just have to react to what's going on. And, Starling not showing up, you can't be too surprised at that one. So,
hmm Yeah, yeah. He's I guess he's a napper. He messaged me an hour later. I'm like, oh, I was sleeping. I'm like, what's going on then? But yeah, we'll have to figure out another time to talk to him. Or yeah, I don't. He's pretty unpredictable. He is the psychopath, like he says.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hmm yeah, yeah. And then yeah, he did the system got kidnapped, but then he was returned by Jerry a few days later for that like a Faribault MAW show. So he seemed fine, and Jerry's unpredictable. So
Well, I'm
mhm.
just glad the system's safe because I still need to get my hands on him.
Oh,
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He seems to be doing pretty good. He's MAW champion still, and yeah, apparently as of a few days ago from MAW Wilmer Mania, he's going to have there was a number one contendership for his title, and somehow with things ended the way they did, he's going to have a triple threat or he's going to have to defend it in a triple threat match against Paul Verk and Rampage Santana. So it's going to be quite the
Sounds like you'll
show.
have it full.
Mm.
for
Yeah, so
sure.
he might be in trouble. So, hmm well, yeah, let's get to Crixus. How did you originally start or how did you originally start wrestling, and how did your early career start?
So originally, we'll start from just being a young kid of always wanting to do it. I think we're all pretty much in that same boat. A lot of us don't get the chance to, but I was working my regular, 40-hour a week job as a welder, going to the gym daily, and just one of the guys I worked with noticed I liked working out, noticed I had the physique for TV, and luckily for me, he knew Tony, got me in contact with Tony, and we trained. It was me, BJ Seastrom, which you guys probably know from the MAW, and then a few other
Yep.
guys that are no longer around. We all kind of just started training together, and then from there, me and BJ probably had our first 5 or 6 matches together, and then it just kind of blew up from there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was everybody for sure knows BJ. He's the big tall dude for the system, his big bodyguard. So yeah, it's been a little while since we've seen him, but I know he's probably gonna start doing stuff eventually. But yeah, So it sounds like you had a pretty good class of wrestlers. I know, like you said, most of them aren't wrestling anymore, but if you do have a
Yeah.
good class, it's easy to start wrestling and become the character that you are now. So yeah.
Yeah, we have a handful of us that were always there, showing up, just working with each other. So that helped a
Mm-hmm.
lot having DJ around for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right. Well, last week we had a guy by the name of Stonehenge on. I
Okay.
should, uh, and he kind of laid down a challenge to the system, you, and Sterling Bond.
Okay.
Uh, he's kind of wishing that one day that Zero Sympathy will get together or back together again and do like a 6-man tag team against the program. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the program, they've got quite the authority in the AWF right now with having both championship belts with them. Uh, Getting back together as Zero Sympathy, it'd be difficult with the psychopath. You got the ego of the system. Obviously, you got me. I don't like to be slapped around much, and as you can
No,
tell, I do.
yeah,
I don't just let that slide. But I'm always up for a fight, so if they can schedule it, I'll show up.
Mm-hmm.
well, there we go. Does it matter what promotion they schedule it in if MAW wants to do it or AWF?
Hey, whoever calls me and I'm free, I'll be there. At the MAW, MIW, AWF, whoever wants it, whoever can get us together. There's no brand loyalty from me. I'm just here to show everybody what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like a good challenge, and it definitely would be a great match to have a 3-on-3 faction match. So yeah.
That would be an interesting match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That'd be
Let's get
one that
a.
I'd pay to see. I'd definitely pay to see that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if it did happen, I mean, you said any company, but if it was like an AWF, and I haven't been to an AWF show, I'd be like, yeah, I'm definitely going to that one. So, mm-hmm.
There,
Yeah.
we got to get you in somehow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's just so many wrestling companies in the Midwest that you could do it at, and I know the program they've been scattering Midwest wide, so it'd be cool to see where that match could end up sometimes. So yeah, um, yeah. So as we mentioned, you are an AWF superstar. Talk about the AWF atmosphere.
When I first started with the AWF, I mean, they've always had a great core group of guys, but I would say ever since we kind of came back from the pandemic and kind of got everything going, they've kind of kept it more to the same core group, even more so than they were before, and you can just tell everybody is enjoying themselves, everybody's getting along. There's just better and better matches every week I'm there, so it's a lot of fun now.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely seems like a cool environment, and I know their main thing is going to high school gyms, so that gives exposure to younger audiences to see wrestling in town if they don't necessarily know about wrestling, or I mean, go to the watching WWE is also difficult in Minnesota or even in
A lot of
general.
those
So
guys, they're so far out from the cities to where it's just not a real good plan for them to drive 2.5 hours to come to Chanhassen or drive down to wherever. And we go out there, we find them, and they seem to really enjoy it. We were just at Shell Lake, Wisconsin last Saturday, and that was quite the turnout. There was a lot of people. They loved it.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like how the AWF does that and gives people exposure to the wrestling. So, yeah. And I want to. You mentioned Shell Lake, Wisconsin. We were talking to Stonehenge about that. How did the program celebrate, or the Nick Nelson celebration go? Did you watch that?
Stonehenge definitely had a lot of fun singing. I mean, they laid down the challenge saying they were the best team there, and they turns out they're not. I mean, NDS came out there and showed them what tag team action really is, and
Mm-hmm.
didn't look good for the program.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, program's falling apart. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Now they're a bunch of big guys, so they can take a beating, but they'll be back
Mm-hmm.
again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like we said, we had Stonehenge on last week, and we went on for almost 2 hours, and he was just talking about a bunch of stuff about how the program's super cool, Fiji Water, Gushers, Nick Nelson, and everything. So mhm. He's definitely he definitely I can definitely see from the interview that we had, he definitely would go up on a stage and just start singing away. So mhm.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
definitely laying it down for Nick. Definitely give him the treatment, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right. So has the beef between you and Petey Brown been squashed, or is there still a little issue there?
I don't know if I would call it a beef. He's definitely got a knack for pulling out wins when he doesn't deserve the win. But
True.
just keep fighting, just keep going. I don't think there's anyone out there that really believes that, when it comes down to a title match or a fair and even match, I don't think he's gonna win. But, he believes in himself, and I mean, if no one believes in you, at least you got to believe in yourself.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Petey Brown, quite the character. He's been with the AWF for a while, and he's the booker of AWF and keeps booking
Yep.
these matches. And it's been quite interesting to see the feud of Crixus and Petey Brown. So yeah.
He's quite the slippery devil. I almost always have him beat every week, and it's always some quick trick where he gets that quick 1, 2, 3. The refs just seem to really like to count quick for that guy. I tell you what.
Mm. Do you think Petey Brown might be paying the refs a little extra to do that?
I don't know if he's paying the refs extra. I think they might just be a little afraid of me. I think that's what's going on.
Oh, good. Yeah, that might be something too. So, oh man, yeah. Uh, what is your inspiration behind your wrestling gear?
Um, I got the name basically just from a TV show. It was a gladiator show, so I just kind of went with the gladiator theme with the I don't know if you'd call it a skirt or whatnot, but I got that, and I got the leather bracers. I was just trying to keep it old school, classic. Try to keep it themed. You can see a lot of guys now that are just coming out as Joe Dirt and Mike McDonald, and they just got
Yeah.
their simple blue and yellow and red and gray tights, and that's just about it. So I just wanted to add a little character to the character, make it stand out, make it look different. I don't think there's a crowd out there where as soon as I come through the curtain, everybody's excited. So there's definitely a lot of in terms of how I look, how I present myself, the gear, everything. It definitely seems to turn heads every time I show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It definitely is unique, something different, and I think it's the best way to stand out from a wrestling crowd, and it's our wrestling or the wrestlers in general. And
Right.
it's a great character, and you're going seems to be going pretty good. So yeah, and I kind of had a two-part question of that. What is your inspiration behind your wrestling style?
I don't know if there's so much inspiration, so much as it is just noticing where I stand physically against most other guys out there. Obviously, when it comes to Stonehenge or BJ or Kyle Pro, we're all roughly the same size. But when it comes to Levy, the system, Petey, the majority of the card, I'm generally the larger guy on the show. Usually not the biggest, but one of the larger guys. So you just kind of got to work with what you got. I like working out. I lift heavy. So when it comes to catching people and throwing people, it's pretty easy for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you definitely are one of the jack dudes in AWF, and yeah, from what I've seen, AWF does have the smaller cruiserweight style, but it does mix well with the bigger guys, and you're able to create something special. So yeah, all right, I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right. So has Petey Brown ever like asked you to be a surprise partner against the program?
He hasn't yet. I know we have teamed up a few times in the past. I think for right now, he kind of wants to see if he can kind of dismantle the program on his own, kind of create his own team. As you can tell, week after week, we're battling with each other, so I'm not sure if he can quite trust me yet. I'm not sure if I can trust him either. I don't want to be left out to dry, so
Yeah,
it'd be a tricky situation if we got into it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good tag teams always have to have or that trust. So, and I mean, it would be good to tag up to take down the program, but it'd be, like you said,
Yeah,
it'd be
they are
quite.
quite obnoxious teams, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Speaking of tag team partners, you've tagged with King Leonidas, who kind of has the same character as you. Thoughts about King Leonidas?
Great guy, great wrestler. He always gives me great advice both before the match, after the match. He's usually out there watching it so he can tell me, where I slipped up. Maybe, let this part of the match grow, slow it down here, speed it up there. I do have more dates coming up with MIW, and as far as I know, we will be tagging together more, which will be exciting. So I'm looking forward to this summer and seeing what we can do.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've seen King Leonidas a handful of times, maybe two or three, but yeah, he's a solid dude in the ring and kind of agile for a little bit too. So it's cool to see him wrestle. And I believe the first time I saw him, he teamed with your arch rival Petey Brown. So it was
Yeah.
quite a tag team. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, and then yeah, like you said, it'd be yeah awesome to have you guys tag in the summer for MIW, and I'm hoping to get back to watching some more MIW stuff too. So yeah,
And with our characters being so we're not the exact same, obviously, but we are very similar. So just getting together with someone with a similar character style, similar wrestling style, I feel like it's going to flow real well between us. We won't be doing different things. We'll be able to kind of figure out what we're doing in the middle of the match. We won't have to talk much. It'll just kind of flow real smooth.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right. So 11 days from now, there's going to be a show in St. Charles, Minnesota. Are you going to be on that card?
I am not on that card yet, no.
Oh, well, Tony better get you on that card. I haven't seen you
Okay.
since Pine Island. You were over there for Cheese Fest. I think that was Cheese Fest 2. I think they
Well, I know
were
what you're
doing
talking
that.
about. Yeah, the
Yep,
outdoor show, right?
yep, at
Yep.
Owen's Locker. So,
Yeah, I remember
yep,
that. That was a good day. That was a good day.
yeah, yep. The weather was perfect for it.
I have been talking to Tony and I have been talking to Petey, and we do have me down for more dates coming this summer, and he'll send me over some more. So we're just trying to get our schedules all lined up and just get as much in as I can.
Good deal.
Yeah, definitely would be cool. Who are you originally trained by?
Originally, like I said, I started with Tony DiNucci. He did some of the training. I would say Nick Nelson did most of showing me how to run the ropes, how to do a suplex, how to do a lockup. It was mostly all Nick Nelson, Tony DiNucci, and then from there, BJ and I just showed up night after night, whether we had someone there or not. We just watch videos and give it a rip, and just hopefully no one died, and no one did. So turned out pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that definitely is good. So, yeah. So Nick Nelson got into a little bit of training back in the day.
Yeah, when we first started up, it was run by Tony in the AWF, but with he's getting older, a little bit older. He still can move around, but he didn't want to be in the ring showing us every little move and every little bump. So it was Nick Nelson, and then it was one other guy I'm drawing a brain fart on right now that doesn't wrestle anymore, but it was mostly Nick that showed us the ropes, showed us how to run the ropes, take bumps, do suplexes. Tony kind of did the how to set up a match, how to work on, how to make it flow and what, looks good and what's dumb and, don't stall here, take a little bit longer there. So he kind of showed us how to structure our match, and then it was Nick that kind of showed us how to do the moves and how to stay safe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that he did some training back in the, or I mean, yeah, well, I didn't know he was a trainer, and it's just cool to hear that he did stuff like that. And Nick Nelson, a great wrestler in general, great character and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, he helped us all a lot with character development too. Obviously, he's got quite the character, quite the stick. He's also stands out. He's not just your average guy in a pair of colored tights. He's got his moniker. He's got his sayings. He sticks out, and he definitely kind of showed us and told us not to go with your basic black trunks. Try to make it stick out. Either go with who you already are. Stick with who you are. Do what you already do. And if that doesn't work for you, do something completely different. And he said, just try one of those two things. If you can't make it work in the ring being yourself, then create a character that you like and play that character the best you can.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. All right. Oh, you go, Jesse.
All right. Favorite person that you have wrestled against? Who is your favorite?
Favorite opponents? I've had 2 matches with Ryan Cruz. They both went real well. Shoot, who's my favorite though? I mean, Petey is always fun. He's always got his character stick going, whether it's his interesting dance moves in between different matches. He goes up real light. I'm not saying he's a small guy, but he knows how to move, so he always goes up light, and everything works well between us.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Williams, he's quite the character. I've had a few matches with him. That always went real smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely is a great list of people, and I've seen pretty much all of them wrestle, and they're all great wrestlers in general. So yeah. Bill Williams is the current AWF champion. Is there a possible something that could happen with him?
Hopefully. That's about all I could say right now is hopefully we can get a match together. Hopefully we can either whether it's the TV title or the AWF title, I'm trying to get my hands on one, if not both. I love gold. So, I'd like to get, whether it's a title match or not, I'd still like to get in the ring with both those guys some more and, see what we can put together.
Yeah, that definitely would be a great match. And I mean, both big, solid dudes in general. So, yeah,
Yep.
definitely be something to see. Yeah. All right. I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right. So, what do you hope to accomplish within the next 5 years of your wrestling career?
Next 5 years, I'll be turning 31 in May. So within the next 5 years, I'll be hitting 36. I started wrestling right around 25, and obviously we just lost pretty much the last year and a half. But within the next 5 years, I think everybody in Minnesota would love to work with First Wrestling. I don't know anyone on any card that wouldn't want to work there. Obviously, right now, even I don't think I would be the first call up on that card, currently. Hopefully, within the next few years, I can gain more experience, put together longer, more solid matches, and hopefully get that call. Heavy on wrestling is also another one that would be great to do. Titles aren't really the biggest thing for me, just kind of getting out there, having fun. I've got a lot going on in, personal life, just getting older, all those things. I'm not really looking at making it a full-time profession and going pro, but if I can at least say, Crixus was, a hell of a Minnesota wrestler, I think that would be a great thing to hear.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, definitely would be something to be right there. And yeah, First Wrestling probably got to be one of the top companies out there, and they produce a lot of great shows. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody wants to get on that card, and you just kind of, at least for me, I kind of just got to wait my time. I know I'm not ready yet, and then hopefully when I am, hopefully Eric Hannon knows this is. Hopefully everybody else will notice, and I would at least like to wrestle with them once before I, retire. So that's kind of the game plan. Get in there at some point.
Yeah.
You mentioned that maybe not go pro but be famous in Minnesota, and we talked one famous wrestler before. It was twice now. Our last episode was a few months ago, but we talked with Cody O'Neill, who's a big time Minnesota guy from back in the day. So he didn't go pro, but he was a big name. So yeah. Okay. Why wrestle in the Midwest?
I mean, that's where I live now, and that's where I'm getting bookings. I have nothing against branching out and going to other places, whether it be Wisconsin or Chicago. For me, like I said, I'm not really looking to go pro and travel to Texas and California and Montana and then back over to New Jersey. All those things sound great and would be fun, but at the same time, I've got my job. I've got, other side projects that I'm working on, hopefully starting my own business at some point. We're just I've got a lot of other things going on, so I gotta try to stay somewhat close to home while still obviously getting out there and doing the most I can.
Okay. Yeah. It's definitely like that. Yeah. One person I've been hearing a lot about this Canada show that's having a bunch of these guys, and one of those guys is Kyle Pro. I guess, I don't know if it's a consideration if you're not traveling much, but what are your thoughts on Kyle Pro in Canada?
In terms of Kyle Pro, I mean, he's a great guy. He's going to keep moving up and up and up. I don't see anything holding him back from, continued growth. In terms of Canada, I mean, if I can get pretty much all I need is a passport and then, someone to ask me to do a couple of dates. And I mean, who doesn't want to travel to Canada for a long weekend? That sounds like fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah, go to Canada for some wrestling. That sounds like a good weekend. So
Yeah, do 2, 3 in a row, 4, 5. I mean, you always see their things where they're going for, a month, 2, 3 months, where they just go all the way across Canada and back, and they just wrestle every day for 2 months straight. Yeah, that'd be a little much for me, but if I could catch a leg of a week, a long weekend, that sounds like fun. Meet some new guys. I'm sure there's a lot of people up there I've never even seen before, so get my hands on a few other guys, throw them around, and see what happens.
Yeah, it definitely would be something cool. So, yeah. All right, I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right, who's your favorite indie wrestler right now?
Favorite indie wrestler right now? I've got a couple. Shane Mercer. I don't know if you ever heard of him. I mean, every time I see highlights or matches from him, it just blows my mind at what he can do in the ring with his, physicalness and his athleticism. I'd say that's probably the one that stands out the most. I'd like to meet him and just kind of pick his brain at a few things, maybe get in the gym. He looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. You've done some shows with the FLWA. What are your thoughts on that company?
Man, if they're gonna book me, I'm gonna show up, man. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It was a great company. The shows I did with them, they were good shows. The crowd was into it. So, I mean, if they want me to show up some more, I'll definitely be there. It was a lot of fun. There's some titles there I could probably grab without too much work. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen just a little bit of FLWA just from posts and stuff, but it does seem like they got something good going on. And we talked Jay Soltis, Steel Domain Wrestling referee, who he's I think he's an announcer for that show. So you're talking a little bit about that and getting some insight on that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you go, Jesse.
So, what are your thoughts on a single wrestler who holds like 7 titles for different promotions? What are your thoughts on that?
I know who you're talking about, and I mean, my thoughts are he's an outstanding wrestler, and I mean, the people he doesn't show up to these organizations and just say, give me the title, and then walks out with the title. They're calling him. They're asking him to take the title and carry it. I mean, at a certain point, you kind of got to say, hey, guys, I can't. I've already got enough. I mean, I'll be here, I'll be gone for 3-4 months, and I'm going to be carrying the title with me. Maybe you guys should consider someone else in your organization, but I don't hold that against him at all. I mean, if someone wants to call me in to do a match and take their title, I mean, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's more on the promoters. They just got to, figure out who's going to stick around and who's going to put in all of the work themselves and just kind of figure it out that way. But in terms of him carrying all the belts, I mean, if he can get a dozen of them, that's fine with me. I mean,
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a handful of guys that have done that. Is like Kenny Omega and Kurt Angle, and it's interesting to see.
With 9-10 belts. I mean,
it's like
you don't really want to get a call from a promotion and they say, "Hey, we want you to come in, in 2.5 months and fight our champion and win." I mean, what do you say? No. I mean, I'm taking that.
Yeah, and holding all the belts, that means you're representing the company, so it's
Right.
definitely
I mean, it's got to be a lot of luggage to carry with, that's for sure. But
yeah. Oh yeah, what's in that other bag? Oh, that's just all my 12 titles. Yeah, what are the other ones for? Oh, that's the other 24.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. What is the best wrestling story that you have?
Best wrestling story.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, I've got. So the first few years I was wrestling in the AWF, it was BJ and I were driving the ring truck with the trailer. So for the first year and a half, 2 years, it was him and I meeting up, getting in the truck, driving to the show. I mean, the setup and tear down is always a pain in the ass. Obviously, no one wants to do it, but it's got to be done. So you get there and you do it. But just spending a lot of time traveling back and forth, hanging out with all the guys in the locker room. I've never really been in a locker room or met a wrestler in a locker room that has ever really been an issue. There are those off weekends or off nights where someone's having a bad day and it's a little tense, but we've never had any issues where, oh crap, Mike's coming this weekend. No one likes Mike. So I can't say there's any terrible things that I've run across yet, but I just enjoy it. The locker room's been real great. Spending time with the same 3 or 4 guys with the ring crew. We get in the truck after the show, drive it back, whether it's a half hour, 4 hours. We were always talking about the matches, what went great, what didn't. So that's some of those things you'll never forget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, wrestling locker room's got to be cool. Talking to all the wrestlers and just seeing what's going on with each and every one of them. And I mean, sometimes people aren't regular stars on the show, so it's cool to be like, hey, how's it going, kind of thing. I'm guessing, but
yeah, everyone's super nice. You get guys coming up from Chicago or they're coming over from Montana or something. They drove 6 hours. The show's at 7. They get there at 5:30 or 6, and it's completely understandable. They just drove 5 hours. They say hi. Everyone's always very cordial, very nice. They do their match. They leave right away. Which again, 6-hour drive. I got no problem with that. If you're gonna come in from Chicago, do your match, and leave, go for it. I mean, I'm not gonna be angry that you didn't tear down the ring when you got to drive 5 hours to get home again. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially when you don't want to spend the money for the hotel and you just straight line it, it's got to be difficult. So, yeah. All right, I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right. What is the worst incident that you ever seen in indie wrestling? It could either be with a promoter or a wrestler or 2 wrestlers.
I'd say the worst incident that I ever saw, which I wasn't a part of, I was just watching an MAW show probably 4 years ago or so, and it was the Midwest Matt Truck. I don't know if you remember him or not. He was in a tag team match, and things went a little awry, and he ended up breaking his nose. He got knocked out for a few seconds. Match kind of slowed down. They picked things up and finished it off within a minute or so, and then he briskly got out of the ring, and him and his wife took off to go take care of his busted up face. So luckily, I haven't seen any broken arms or broken legs. Just one broken nose. I've seen a few guys. The system, he got a bit of a concussion when we were up in, I think, Walker, Minnesota, at a casino show. He got his head bounced off the mat pretty bad. AJ, Here's a good one. We had a zero sympathy. We were doing a battle royal match. It was down to the last 4, 5, 6 of us or so, and Sterling had his pineapple with him, the old pineapple gimmick.
Oh yeah.
The whole plan was I hold up AJ since we're, me and Sterling are a team. I hold up AJ and Sterling comes up behind with the pineapple, bops him in the head and knocks him out. That was the plan. What happened was I hold AJ and Sterling from about 5 feet away takes that pineapple, baseball throws it into the back of his head, knocks him out. It was not planned that way, unexpected. It was quite a sight to behold.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. That definitely sounds bad. And yeah, wrestling incidences are it's never interesting. Well, I guess it's interesting to see, but it's never fun to see. But it's
It's quite the show.
yeah.
You got a guy that just got knocked in the back of the head with a full pineapple. Yeah. He's conscious, but he's definitely sore and limp, and we're doing a battle royal where you have to go over the top rope to eliminate him. So now we're in a situation where get him up and get him out so he can get medical attention. So
right.
Yeah. I don't know. How does a wrestler that got hit, how does he explain that? Like, I got a concussion from a pineapple. It's only in wrestling. Right. Oh man,
it was an interesting experience for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you said AJ. Was it AJ LaRock or another AJ?
AJ Steele. I don't know if you'll ever see him around anymore, but he was wrestling with us. He was one of the guys that first started training with me and BJ. I don't know if he's wrestling anymore. It was AJ Steele. It was me and BJ. It was Curtis, Big Kurt. Mm-hmm. But as far as I know, those two guys aren't doing it anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I only know two AJs, AJ LaRock and AJ Smooth, but it's cool to hear new guys though, and I guess now they're old guys, but yeah.
You get 14, 15, 16 new guys a year that go about couple months, couple years, and then fizzle out. So
yeah. And then first you mentioned the Midwest Mack truck. He actually just returned to the Midwest and MAW a few days ago at Wilmer Mania 3. He was in a hood. Brian Sager came over and he was like, "Do my eyes deceive me?" And turned out to be Moses. So yeah, it was quite the. It was a big shock. He got a huge pop in that arena. Yeah. So better watch out. The Mack trucks back in the Midwest, Crixus.
Hopefully we'll tag team. I don't know if I want to meet him one-on-one anytime soon.
Yeah. He is a big dude. That muscle build bodybuilder physique he's got. So
yeah, he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What makes WrestleFest important?
What makes what?
The AWF pay-per-view WrestleFest.
Shoot, I'm not on that one. When's that coming up?
No, it was a few years ago. I think it was WrestleFest 2. I thought I saw your name on there. Was it? I might have to. Let me check your thing again. It was. You faced Tony Nas.
Tony, okay, I know Tony Nas. I know him. I'm not sure which show that was. I think I've wrestled him 3 or 4 times. He's got quite the character. He's a lot of fun. He's got a lot of years in the business. So when it comes down to putting together a match and kind of deciding who's going to do what and when. He's definitely got a lot of knowledge on when to do this, when to not do that. So, meeting up with guys like him always definitely kind of builds your repertoire. You'll learn a lot from them, instead of sitting there saying, well, I know what I like to do and I know what I'm doing. You sit down and you listen to what they have to say, and then you kind of come to an agreement. No one's ever been pushy with what they're gonna do, so you just kind of go back and forth. And with them having multiple years more of experience than I do, you generally lean toward their suggestions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. It's always cool to learn from the veterans of wrestling and just get their insight and yeah. I'm not sure if you do remember it or not. I found it on your Facebook. It was AWF TV Championship, Pine Island WrestleFest 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I kind of remember that one now.
Okay.
I believe we were outside again, Pine Island. I think we were at the car dealership, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was like the very first one that you guys did.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. It was definitely when you had a much shorter beard, though. So yeah.
It's coming and so nice, though, I must say.
Yeah. I created a little list of wrestlers, and I mean, we did talk about them a little bit, but what was your original thoughts on some of these guys? I'll go first with the system.
The system. A lot of hair, thin, very, how would I say? He's definitely got he's got his character. He knows how to work his character. It's not anything you've seen before, which is a lot of fun. Some of these guys you see out there, it's a little generic, but when it comes to him, it's definitely something you don't see very often. So that's always fun. But when it comes to him, if he can turn the tides in his favor, whether it be by the rules or not by the rules, he's going to do anything he can to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Super Thunder Frog.
Ooh. That guy is so much fun, whether it's in the locker room or in the ring. I mean, the character, the moveset he has, along with, just the years of experience. I think I've probably done, I'd say 8 to 12 matches with him, and I don't think any of them were at all the same. Every single time it was always something different from start to finish. This move, that move, we're going to throw in this, silly spot here, but we're only going to do it, in this match, and then we'll throw in a different silly spot, but you'll probably never see it again. I mean, he's got a lot of knowledge in terms of, his moveset and his character. So he's definitely a lot of fun. That's another guy that, I could wrestle every weekend for the next year and enjoy every match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Joey Avalon.
Joey, same thing as Frog, different character, different move set, but every time I've worked with him, he always gets the crowd going, and he's a very safe worker. So, that's always good.
Zach Hendricks.
Zach Hendricks, I'd say maybe 2 matches with him. I've gone over to Wisconsin and probably watched him in matches more often than I've actually wrestled with him. So knowing exactly what he does personally, I don't have too much experience, but just another great guy. Like I've never really met anyone in the wrestling industry so far that I would just straight out say, terrible person, screw that guy, which is good.
Yeah, that is good. Sterling Bond.
Well, see, now you just broke everything I just said.
Way to go, Jeryn.
Oh,
He's nice, but as you know, he's the psycho, so he's very unpredictable. You know,
mhm.
I wouldn't say unsafe, but he definitely likes to try things for the first time. You know, I've never seen him, injure someone, but he definitely likes to try things that you don't normally see, which is usually a good thing. But it's unpredictable. He's the psychopath. You got to keep an eye out for him.
Yeah. He is the psychopath and very unpredictable. I've seen him a number of times. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Someone who, I mean, unfortunately, in the wrestling business, just retired. Craven Knight.
Craven, he was the first match I ever had when I turned from face to being heel for the first time. We wrestled at the Anoka American Legion. I believe it was the first match I ever had with him. I turned heel that night, and he's so athletic, so much fun, very nice. He makes gear for most of the guys in the Midwest. Very, very crafts. He's very good at his craft. A great guy. I like that guy.
Hmm. Yeah. Great guy, and seen him for the last
It's
6 or
unfortunate
7.
to see him retire because I would definitely like to get in the ring with him several more times, but unfortunately,
Hmm.
we'll probably be able to do that again.
Hmm. Yeah. I really wish he didn't, but I guess he's got to do what he's got to do. So
You can
yeah.
never say never. You never know. He
Hmm.
might come back in 2 or 3 years, do a couple more, and he might not. If he's
Hmm.
done, I mean, he had quite the career, and when he says he wants to be done, that's his decision. And I mean, you can't say anything bad about the guy. He's real nice. So
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Then one more name, Jake Savage.
Jake Savage, he's another guy where when I first started, he was the mainstay in the AWF. He was the AWF heavyweight champ. And just in terms, I think just his job, his life, he's got a kid now. He hasn't been able to do it as often as he used to, but it's always fun to see him around. He's one of those guys where he was one of the first few matches that I was doing that was not with BJ. Like I said, my first 5 or 6 were with him, and then I had a few with Jake Savage, and he definitely kind of made sure I knew what I was doing, made sure that if there were moves I were uncomfortable with, we'd change it up. And we both have very similar wrestling styles, which is fun. He's definitely a guy I would like to tag team with,
Hmm.
but we'll see what happens. Hopefully he'll come back to the AWF and do a little bit more work, and maybe we can get in the ring together. Maybe me and him can take down the program. Who knows?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely a possibility. So yeah, I'll let you go, Jesse.
All right. I kind of forgot to mention this earlier. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Ashley Jerry or Gary or whatever, however you pronounce your last name. Uh, yeah. She says she's going to watch the show later on. I think she's a very, very nice person. I know she does a lot for the wrestlers, and I think her mom does photo photos for
Yeah,
the
she does a lot
wrestling
of
shows.
photos at the shows she's at. Ashley's there as often as she can. Her mom's
Yep.
there fairly often, doing some really good photos too.
Yes.
Both very nice people. They're always great to see them.
Yep. Um,
Yeah.
and Ashley, I think, just became, or she's a mother now, so that's why we don't get to see her much anymore. But it's always nice to see her at the shows, so friendly and big old smile on her face. So,
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
all right. Jeryn, I'm going to let Crixus close out the show with this last question, Crixus.
All right.
If there was one thing that you could say to the system and Sterling Bond, what would it be?
All right. System, you got what you deserved. You put your hands on me and you shouldn't. Sterling, I don't know. Maybe if you're up from your nap, we could do a little interview with each other again sometime. Otherwise I might just have to meet you in the ring. You can't keep ducking us forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's well said. All right. Well, thank you for being on the show, Crixus. It was awesome to talk to you as an individual this time and to see what you've been doing and where you're going. So, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was a good time. A lot of great questions from you. Hopefully next time I'll get on here, I'll have some questions for you guys too.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Definitely. All right.
All right. You have a nice night, Crixus.
Yeah.
You have a great weekend, boys.
Yep, you too.
All right. Live is ending. Oops.